is going on? Welcome to the Miami Sports Vibes YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, Dolphin fans. I will be putting out content week in and week out, weekly into the NFL season, throughout the NFL season. Tons of Dolphins content and NFL content. Share it with a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that thumbs up button to support the show. So I want to talk about some things, man, that I have not discussed. And plenty of people have hit me up asking my thoughts. I want to give you guys my thoughts. Now that time has settled, we pretty much know what our roster is going to be outside of a couple contract extensions here and there. We know the Dolphins additions. We know who the Dolphins lost. We know who's in and who's out. Now, I want to share my thoughts on them. So, Dolphins roster, a little bit different than last year, but I still think it is a good team, and I think we should be excited for this team. So let's talk about my thoughts on the new acquisitions, the new difference in the Miami Dolphins, and starting with some notable players lost. Xavier Howard, plenty of people think that that's a big blow. I'm on the other hand that I don't think it's quite of a blow. I think that Xavier Howard's better days are kind of behind him at this point, and he just gets into too much trouble off the field. I mean, you're constantly seeing his name out there. I don't really think we're going to miss him. Now, he has had a hell of a career. I mean, probably the best cornerback that I've seen put on a Dolphins uniform. I mean, the season that he had before with all those interceptions is just crazy. But time has come. Another guy that I think we're going to miss is Christian Wilkins, obviously, but he got a bag out there with the Raiders. That's going to be tough. Robert Hunt is going to be tough to lose. Van Ginkel is another one, but we lost other guys like Connor Williams, Brandon Jones, Emmanuel Ogbah, Elliott, and Raekwon Davis, man. Shout out to Raekwon Davis. I mean, I was such a believer. I really, really thought that he was going to be very impactful, and that just wasn't the case, so we had to move on from him. Another thing, man, Anthony Weaver in as the defensive coordinator, Fangio out. How do I feel about that? To be honest with you guys, I like Fangio. I know a lot of players didn't like him. He's very stubborn, you hear, but I like Fangio, man. I thought that he was going to do wonders once everybody was able to buy in and kind of learn his system. But Anthony Weaver is in. To be honest with you guys, I don't know if I like the guy. I mean, I'm hearing great things, but I'm a type of guy where at this point, you just got to show me, and I need to see results at this point. If I do see results with this Dolphins defense, dialing it up, I will give all credit to Weaver. But until then, I'm pretty much at the point where it's like, listen, man, I don't know too much about you. I've read about you with your time in Baltimore, but I need to see results. Is this going to be the guy that kind of takes that Dolphins defense into the next level to hopefully compete for a championship? That remains to be seen. We brought guys back like Barrios, Craycraft, Ahmed, and Isaiah Wynn and Kendall Lamb, which I think are notable. But let's talk about the guys we picked up now. Now, this is the fun part. This is the part that excites me the most because I'm not even going to lie to you. After we lost to the Chiefs, man, and the season that we went through where we were so high, and then boom, the loss against Tennessee, the annihilation in Baltimore, losing to Buffalo twice in the season, like that's heartbreaking. Then to go to Kansas City and lose the way we lost, I'm not going to lie to you guys. My optimism, which is usually high year after year, it was crushed. And that's pretty much why I've kind of been off the grid a little bit, kind of recovering since the Dolphins lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. But what did these boys do? Let's just say they reeled me back in, man. This offseason was big, adding notable players like Jonnu Smith, a tight end that can block and catch. Finally, another offensive weapon for Tua and Jonnu Smith. Plenty of people probably don't think that is a big deal, but me, I'm a big Jonnu Smith guy. I think he's going to do wonders. Hell, I'd rather have him than Durham Smythe out there. So let's just put it that way. Anthony Walker, linebacker. Jordan Brooks, linebacker. Jack Driscoll, offensive line help. Jordan Poyer from the Buffalo Bills coming in to be a safety next to Javon Holland. Calais Campbell improving that defensive line. Shaq Barrett, who can set the edge. Odell Beckham Jr., my boy at wide receiver 3, Odell Beckham Jr. He is going to do wonders for this Dolphins offense, for the things that he can do. And some of the tape that I've seen, what he was able to do in Baltimore, adding that to the mix with Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel likes goal line fades, and Odell Beckham can catch him. I think he's going to have a big year with this Dolphins offense. Aaron Brewer, center from the Titans. I think that is big, obviously. Offensive line help. anytime you can get it, you got to take it as a Dolphin fan, man. Anthony Brewer and then Kendall Fuller. I mean, Kendall Fuller is a veteran and he can get the job done. You talk about feeling a little bit stressed that Jalen Ramsey is going to be the only, corner that can back his stuff up after losing Xavier Howard. Kendall Fuller, he can hold his own, man. I'm excited for him. And obviously the contract extension with Jalen Waddle, 3 years for $80+ million. I think that was absolutely a thing you must do. I mean, a guy that is so young that you drafted, that has put in the work, has put in the time, and has deserved the bag. Locking that guy up long term for some extra years. Now you got 5 years in total left. I love that for the Miami Dolphins. You definitely want Jalen Waddle to be part of your future. You're thinking about whether you're thinking about going young, whether you're thinking about win now, Jalen Waddle is part of the solution. Absolutely love that. Let's talk about the Dolphins draft picks, though. Chop Robinson, picked in the first round from Penn State. He can set the edge. Love that pick. Patrick Paul, a tackle out of Houston. Jalen Wright, running back out of Tennessee. I think he's going to be big time, man. Another edge in Muhammad Kamara from Colorado State. Malik Washington, wide receiver out of Virginia. Patrick McMorris from California. And Taj Washington from USC, another wide receiver. Not going to lie to you, at this point, when the draft was happening, I was still bummed out about that Kansas City Chiefs loss, that I couldn't get into it. I really couldn't get into it, man. It's just all of these Dolphins heartbreaks. Every time it ends, it kind of just sets me down for so many months. And I hate to I hate that I love the Dolphins so much because of the pain that they caused me. But I'm pretty sure a lot of Dolphin fans listening to this video can relate to this. I mean, I'm sure I'm not alone. I was out, man. I did not really look into draft stuff, but obviously after time has passed, I looked into these guys and I kind of like these pickups, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I was kind of like a little bit shocked that they took Chop Robinson, but I think he's going to be a beast, man. I mean, the film that I've seen on him, I think he's going to do wonders, and I think he's going to get the opportunity. Having Jalen Phillips coming off an injury, having Bradley Chubb coming off an injury, not having Agba, I think you're going to need guys to make an impact, and I think Chop Robinson is going to make an impact early on in his rookie season. Obviously, you're going to have guys like Shaq Barrett. I think another guy, man, Patrick Paul, to have him as a backup tackle, Teron Armstead's injury history, having a guy like that, a second-round pick who has a lot of potential, be the backup to either him or Austin Jackson. I think that's big time. You can't have too many tackles. You can't have like too much offensive line depth when you're a Miami Dolphins fan, because that's exactly probably our biggest concern as a fan base, to be honest with you. Jalen Wright, I think he's going to be a big-time wide receiver. Running back. Obviously you got Achane, you got Mostert ahead of him, but this dude's film is crazy, man. Talk about potential running back of the future. Having him, Jalen Wright, and Devon Achane is going to be crazy for the future. But I think you keep all three of these backs. I think you implement them a lot. Hopefully Mike McDaniel can run the ball more. I mean, now with three guys that can run the hell out of the ball potentially, that could be big time. The other guys, I mean, we'll see what they do in the preseason and in training camp. I'm going to keep a close eye on them. But the main thing, what is the Dolphins' ceiling in 2024? Listen, when you talk about a team that is led by Tua, right, who led the league in passing yards, you got Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill as your 1 and 2. You have Odell Beckham as your wide receiver 3. You got 3 running backs that are potentially legit, right? You got, like I mentioned, Odell Beckham as wide receiver 3. You got Jonnu Smith as a tight end. And then you think about the defense, losing Christian Wilkins, losing Xavier Howard, losing Jerome Baker. What are the Dolphins going to do? They get Shaq Barrett. They draft an edge with their first-round pick, right? You get Jordan Poyer to be back there with Javon Holland as the safeties. Listen, man, you still got Zach Sealer in there. You still got Jalen Ramsey, pretty much the best cornerback in the game. You got Kendall Fuller right there as his right-hand man. Listen, I think the Dolphins have addressed this offseason and hit a home run this offseason with the additions that they got, with the draft picks that they've selected, and with another year under the Mike McDaniel system. I think this Dolphins team is going to shock a lot of freaking people. I know the Dolphin fans won't be surprised, but plenty of people around the world will be. The Dolphin ceiling, listen, man, you might call me crazy. The only things that concern me is, I will tell you, is the offensive line and health. If those two boxes are checked off, where you get some solid play from the offensive line, and you have this team healthy. Remember, the amount of injuries that we faced last year is insane. Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Jerome Baker, Xavier Howard, the list goes on and on and on with the injuries. If this team can stay healthy and you get some solid play from the offensive line, those are my only two concerns. I think you're going to get production from Chop Robinson. I think you're going to get production from the rest of the guys. I think this team is motivated. And I think the Dolphins' ceiling this year is championship or bust. And I can guarantee you, don't let the Dolphins get hot, because, man, this team has scary potential. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think the Dolphins ceiling is for 2024. Let me know what you think about the additions. Please comment below. I'll get back to you guys. I want to hear from every single Dolphin fan. If I can, I definitely would love to hear from you guys. All right, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boy. Catch you guys later.